Hey my loves, welcome to today's daily energy. Um, so we have integrity and release. So the message of integrity is you demonstrate the truth and honesty of your soul and manifest love with every action. And then the release, you have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. Now, for these two cards to come out together, it's like you're really fully trying to stand your ground. You're really trying to not be finessed by people's quick wit, those people who have a way of spinning yarns, and people have a way of saying so many words that sometimes confuse you. And it's almost so that you don't stand by what it is that you truly believe, that you can be speeched, that you can be somehow um, worn down by people and their ideas and their viewpoints. And I feel like this particular time, it's like one of those ones where if you are dealing with someone at this time, that makes it hard for you to stand in your integrity, i.e., they keep coming across your boundaries. They keep doing things that are not in alignment with your path, not in alignment with your morals and your values. And then it's saying, speak your truth, be honest with what's going on in your heart and your soul, and always move with love. So you don't have to necessarily come down on people harshly in order to make your point. Sometimes to stay in integrity is to just be as you have always been all the time. Some people are looking for people to just change. It's like when you meet someone who is seemingly just seems simple, or just seemingly seems peaceful and happy, and they don't really want for much. They just, want to be happy. They like to interact with people. They love to kind of go to wherever their place of work is. They like to spend time with the family, and then they like to have their own time. It's almost like the way that the situations um, have presented themselves is that there's so many people presenting a false persona. They're not in. They're not in alignment with their true integrity of who they are, what they really believe in. Some people are saying things because it sounds good, and they're doing things because they think people will run with them, they will follow them, they will have, people who, it's about following, isn't it? So like that's the kind of thing, like what you're gonna do for your likes and your shares and your attention. But it's like stay in integrity of what you truly believe, because ultimately in the end you will feel more better for it. It's always so much more harder to come back from a situation where you've had to analyze yourself not being integrity, and allowing somebody to take you out of your peace, take you out of your place of protection almost. So in this particular time, stand in your integrity, stand for what you believe in. Don't be unshakable like the rock. Be unshakable like the rock, and or also when it comes to this release energy, I love this energy where it says you have the ability to give over unwanted energies to the loving forces of the universe. So again, when you are with people, when you have changed your way of seeing things, and sometimes I've noticed that people have a hard time of releasing and letting go old thought patterns and old systematic ways of thinking. Just because you've done something in a particular way for many years does not mean that it's the best course of action. It doesn't mean that it's the only way it can be done. Sometimes you just got to give over that unwanted energy, that unwanted viewpoint. I've changed, and that's you standing in your integrity right now. This particular knowledge, this particular viewpoint no longer is in alignment with who I am becoming. And it doesn't mean you're some type of hypocrite because you believe something a week ago, a month ago, from when you were younger, and now you've changed, that you're somehow some turncoat. You know, it's like them times like, oh, you're a snide. That's such an old word and showing my age here. But it's like that energy, you know. Stand in your integrity. I've changed. My heart truly feels different towards this set of ideas and this, you know, these set of principles. You know, my soul is aching for something more in depth. And it's really okay to release and give over what no longer serves you. Being integrity is being in being in honesty and oneness with self. You don't have to be doing what everybody else is doing. Your journey doesn't have to look like everybody else's. You don't have to jump on a specific trend or bandwagon because everybody else is doing it. Yes, you may be accepted by the in crowd or by those who are susceptible to following the whims of the collective, the group, you know, like this kind of energy we have, you know, where there's a lot of sheeple kind of energy, you know, follow the leader, when it's really about being integrity is becoming your own leader, being comfortable with where you're at. And even if it is a follow the leader thing where you are a part of a community and you are a part of groups and stuff, you have to be able to say, I pick the sense out, you know, I pick the sense from the nonsense, because there's not going to be every space that you will go into and every person that you'll ever meet that you would like everything in this entirety. So it's been able to say, I like this and I get that. It's like people who, like myself, no particular religion. I haven't followed religion in a number of years. I'm very spiritual, but I've taken some beautiful practices from some of the walks that I've walked. So I've taken some stuff from my Baba Shanti Rastafari times. You know, I've taken some wonderful things from looking into Islam. I've looked at some wonderful things while I've looked at the Hebrew Israelites. I've taken some wonderful things looking into Scientology and Egyptology and looking into Nuapu and looking into all kinds of things while I was searching, you know. And to be integrity with myself is to say there's not one denomination that can hold me. Not one of them can hold me. Yeah, not one of them. You know, I've taken parts and I live by a certain set of principles, you know. The laws of Ma'at, there are some wonderful things that have enriched my life. So for yourself, no matter what your walk has looked like, will continue to look like, be in integrity with yourself. Be integrity with how you feel, what feels right, what no longer feels right, and what no longer sits well. And that's why sometimes you may have groups and people who just tend to kind of fall off. And it's for no fault of anybody else's. It means it's not that there's no more love there. There's still love there, but thank you. You've brought me to a certain point, and I no longer need this particular set of rules or set of circumstances of these set of people for me to continue my journey. My next leg of this journey means that I need to release my attachment on holding on to what is familiar and what is comfortable, in order for me to see what else is out there, for me to release my my self-limiting beliefs, my doubts. I need to release this notion that I have to be in a community all the time, or I have to be within a space of many. Sometimes that's not what's necessary. Sometimes the need is for you to release the need for that attachment, because sometimes a part of this journey is for you to go into solitude mode or to sojourn on your own, to go through this journey one up. And that's not to say that you can't join things, but there is a time and a place for when it is about coming together, and when it's a time for edification, when it's time for studying, when it's time for, you know, taking time to do your practices. Sometimes you can't fully be in integrity with all of your practices because yourself is split into so many different things. You're trying to be everything to one group and everything to another group, which means that sometimes you're not able to fully be a fully integrated person and fully integrate the things that you've learned and fully integrated the things that you are learning and the things that have changed in your life. So be in integrity with yourself. Make sure that all is well in your heart and your soul when you are moving, when you are interacting with people, when you are doing things. If it don't sit right and your soul don't feel good and it's like, then maybe you're not in integrity with yourself. And keep asking yourself those questions. Do I feel okay with this? Does this make sense? Do I believe in this? Do I feel the same way? Am I in, are these set of principles really mine? Where do they come from? Really start to get into a habit or a practice of asking yourself these questions. Get into making sure that you are contemplating things, that you are really, feeling good about what it is that you're doing and where you are at, and get into comfortable with releasing and letting go of those who jar your brain because you're just trying to drag them along. You're just like, come on, if you only get this, you'll be great. You're limiting yourself. If only, if only, if only. You've got to really get away from this only and release this if only. Everybody is on their own path and building what is integral to them. So maybe for their own integrity right now, it's that they don't try to conform to what it is that you believe, that they have to stay in their religion right now because that's what they believe in. That's what's really keeping them together. That is what's, that is the crutch that they need at this particular time. And if it so means that later on that things change or people have a higher state of learning, it does not mean that something is disregarded or that it doesn't have no validity. I totally detest that kind of energy, like, oh, there's nothing in it, it's all rubbish, this is it. And it's like, no, there is something in everything. I feel like everybody has a piece of the puzzle. And I think if everybody just didn't feel like their piece of the puzzle was the whole picture, they would be all right. So be integrity with what you have, what you're learning, your truths, your honesty. Manifest what you will with your love in every action and all of your interactions, and feel comfortable with releasing what no longer fits. Don't be out of integrity for yourself by trying to conform or fit into somebody else's ideals, or to sit in a relationship, or to sit in a space, be around people, places and things that don't celebrate and do not give you that energy of love and transformation. Okay, give over unwanted energies to the universe and be integrity with oneself. Nothing but love, more life. Big up yourselves. Click the links in the bio and in the profiles and down in the description box for your personal readings, and I look forward to seeing what vibes are there for tomorrow. Big up on yourselves.